Welcome to Guns, Guns, Gear, and Guns with Gary Gunderson. I am Gary Gunderson. The Supreme Court made its decision in the Rahimi case, ruling that when an individual has been found by a court to pose a credible threat to the physical safety of another, that individual may be temporarily disarmed, consistent with the Second Amendment. I am not surprised. On a surface level, this seems reasonable to most people, particularly in how it has been skewed and portrayed in the media. I disagree with this decision, and I will explain why I think even people who are not Second Amendment absolutists should also disagree. First, I fully acknowledge Rahimi as a person did not do us any favors. If everything he has been accused of is accurate, he should probably be in jail. It goes into his list of crimes in the decision, including shooting at a Whataburger when his friend's credit card was declined. Clearly an unhinged individual, because Whataburger is mid.
What a burger!
Sometimes organizations will pick an individual that breaks the law to challenge that law, such as Rosa Parks. There was at least one other individual who refused to give up her seat prior to Rosa Parks, but as a pregnant teenager, they thought people would focus more on that aspect instead of the whole racism thing. In summation, no one would have chosen Rahimi as the mascot for a Second Amendment challenge. Regardless, the media does not report accurately, or at least sensationalized this case at every turn, because the headlines were all about how domestic abusers may be allowed to have firearms, which would only have been the case if the Supreme Court ruled very broadly, which is always unlikely. And the majority of people do agree that someone convicted of domestic abuse should not possess a firearm, but the facts of this case were that he had a domestic violence restraining order, which is a much lower burden of proof and without the conviction of a crime. These are usually given out like candy on Halloween to just about anyone who shows up. However, in this particular case, there was a restraining order of 2 years, and Rahimi did not contest the claims of violence. He did subsequently violate the restraining order. Again, not the ideal choice to litigate the case on Second Amendment grounds. I also think, pulling back, the overall view that someone who is ever convicted of domestic violence has given up that right for all time to be a matter of conditioning. This is how it's always been. This is the world I know, and therefore it makes sense that this is how things should be. However, for a non-felonious crime, after serving your time in the eyes of society, you are not a full-fledged member of that society. You cannot exercise your rights, and certainly behavior patterns can predict future behavior, but are they fully integrated into society after serving their term or not? Anyways, I also think giving any authority to government is largely a mistake, given it will be wielded broadly like a sledgehammer instead of a scalpel. The judicial system is already widely politicized, as you can see from judges who enter politics or politicians who become judges, to headlines about obviously ridiculous rulings and decisions from judges every single day. To say that a court can deem someone a credible threat and disarm them without a crime can and will be abused. If there's a silver lining to the 8-1 opinion, it's that it did acknowledge that the Second Amendment does not only apply to muskets, meaning all the liberal justices officially agreed with that point. Not to say they wouldn't disagree in the future if they received a majority and could undo all the Second Amendment work that has been laid down to this point. Anyways, that's all for today. Just a quick look at the outcome. There were a lot of concurring opinions and over 100 pages altogether, but I don't think there's a real need to go into those at this point. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, though, if you'd like to see more on this. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join the Patreon to help the channel grow. Thanks for watching.